The Word became flesh and made his dwelling among us.
The Lord be with you.
And with your spirit.
A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Luke.
Glory to you, O Lord.
Each year, Jesus' parents went to Jerusalem for the feast of Passover. And when he was 12 years old, they went up according to festival custom. After they had completed its days, as they were returning, the boy Jesus remained behind in Jerusalem, but his parents did not know it. Thinking that he was in the caravan, they journeyed for a day and looked for him among the relatives and acquaintances. But not finding him, they returned to Jerusalem to look for him. After 3 days, they found him in the temple, sitting in the midst of the teachers, listening to them and asking them questions. And all who heard him were astounded at his understanding and his answers. When his parents saw him, they were astonished. And his mother said to him, "Son, why have you done this to us? Your father and I have been looking for you with great anxiety." And he said to them, "Why were you looking for me? Did you not know that I must be in my Father's house?" But they did not understand what he said to them. He went down with them and came to Nazareth and was obedient to them. And his mother kept all these things in her heart. And Jesus advanced in wisdom and age and favor before God and man. The Gospel of the Lord.
Praise to you, Lord Jesus Christ.
My dear brothers and sisters, as we celebrate this Sunday, the feast of the Santo Niño, I am reminded of a story that Cardinal Sin used to tell every time we celebrate the feast of the Santo Niño. According to Cardinal Sin's story, there was a teacher who asked his grade school students about geography. And the teacher asked, "Where can you find Tondo? Nasaan ang Tondo?" And one student raised his hand and answered, "Nasa Maynila po." And the teacher again asked, "Nasaan naman ang Maynila?" Another student answered, "Nasa Metro Manila po." And then the teacher asked again, "Nasa naman ang Metro Manila?" Isang estudyante ang sumagot, "Nasa Luzon po." Nagtanong na naman yung teacher, nasaan ang Luzon? Sumagot ang isang estudyante, "Nasa Pilipinas po." Nagtanong na naman ng teacher, nasaan ang Pilipinas? Sumagot ang isang estudyante, "Nasa Asia po." At nagtanong uli yung teacher, "Nasaan ang Asia?" Sumagot ang isang estudyante, "Nasa mundo po." At nagtanong uli yung teacher, "Nasaan ang mundo?" Natahimik ang klase. Until one boy raised his hand and the teacher said, "Sige, nasaan ang mundo?" And the boy said, "Nasa kamay po ng Santo Niño." My dear brothers and sisters, isn't that true? Our classic depiction of the Santo Niño is a child who is a king. He has a crown. On his right hand is a scepter. On his left hand is a round thing. Mundo. Ang mundo ay nasa kamay ng Santo Niño. And this is very consistent to the readings that we heard today. In our first reading today from the book of the prophet Isaiah, we heard that a child is born to us, a son is given us. Isang bata ang ibinigay sa atin. And yet upon his shoulder, dominion rests. They name him Wonder Counselor, God Hero, Father forever, Prince of Peace. His dominion is vast and forever peaceful. Itong batang ito ay makapangyarihan. Ibinigay sa kanya ang pamamahala sa lahat. This is also what St. Paul tells us in our second reading today, that in Jesus, we receive every spiritual blessing. Kay Jesus, ipinagkakaloob sa atin ng Diyos ang lahat ng biyaya. And so it is true that in the hands of the Santo Niño, we are all entrusted. Tayong lahat ay pinagkatiwala ng Ama kay Jesus na isang bata. And we might wonder, why to a child? Is not a child weak? Is not a child limited? Bakit yung buong mundo ay pagkakatiwala sa isang bata? Would it have been better to entrust the world in the hands of good administrators, of good political leaders, of efficient rulers? Mas maganda sigurong ipagkatiwala ang mundo sa kamay ng mga economists o ng mga business people o yung mga expert pagdating sa finance para hindi naghihirap ang maraming tao. O baka mas mabuting ipagkatiwala ang mundo sa kamay ng mga scientists, ng mga experts, or why not in the hands of religious leaders? Why in the hands of a child? And the answer is in our gospel today. Jesus was 12 years old, still a child, and he deliberately stayed in the temple. Hindi naman siya talaga nawala. Nagpaiwan siyang kusa sa templo. At nung tanungin siya ni Maria at ni Jose, bakit mo naman ito ginawa? Malinaw ang sagot ni Jesus. Why were you looking for me? Did you not know that I must be in my Father's house? This is what I should do. I should fulfill the will of my Father. I should obey Him. Yun pala ang pwedeng pagkatiwalaan. Pwedeng ipagkatiwala ang mundo sa kamay ng isang sumusunod sa kalooban ng Diyos. And this also shows the childlikeness of Jesus. Jesus, even though He grew up, remained a child because He remained obedient to the will of His Father. But not only that, after saying that to His parents, He went down with them to Nazareth and He was obedient to Mary and Joseph. Because someone who is obedient to God cannot be disrespectful of others. One who obeys God necessarily obeys others. Hindi pwedeng masunurin sa Diyos lang, pero binabastos naman ang kapwa. Hindi pwedeng iginagalang ang Diyos lang, pero walang galang sa kanyang kapwa. Sino ang pwedeng pagkatiwalaan? Yung sumusunod sa kalooban ng Diyos, pero marunong ding sumunod at gumalang sa kanyang kapwa. My dear brothers and sisters, the Father entrusted the world in the hands of Jesus, who is forever a child, because He is simple, humble, and obedient. Kaya sana po wag nating ipagkakatiwala ang ating mundo kung kani-kanino. Ang mundo ng ating buhay, ang mundo ng ating pamilya, ang mundo ng ating pinagtatrabahuhan o pinag-aaralan, ang mundo ng ating lipunan ng ating bansa, ang mundo ng simbahan, ang mundo ng ating kapaligiran, huwag ipagkakatiwala kung kani-kanino lang. Huwag ipagkakatiwala sa kamay ng mga nagmamagaling, nagyayabang at nagmamarunong. Kanino pwedeng ipagkatiwala ang ating mundo? Sa mga katulad ng Santo Niño. Mapagpakumbaba, payak, simple, at marunong sumunod sa kalooban ng Diyos. Kapag ipagkakatiwala natin ang ating mundo sa mayayabang, kapag ipagkakatiwala natin ang ating mundo sa mga nagmamagaling, kapag ipagkakatiwala natin ang ating mga mundo na sa mga walang kinikilalang Diyos, kundi ang kanilang sarili lang, delikado ang ating mundo. No, my dear brothers and sisters, here in our country, we have already begun the election season. At kapag eleksyon dito sa Pilipinas, talaga namang napakagulo. At sa eleksyon, ipagkakatiwala natin ang ating bansa sa kamay ng mga pinuno. Sana piliin po nating mabuti ang ating mga pinuno. Huwag nating ipagkatiwala ang ating bansa, ang ating pamilya, ang ating kinabukasan sa mga taong walang kinikilalang Diyos at hindi marunong sumunod sa kalooban ng Diyos. Delikado tayo sa kanilang mga kamay. Hindi magliligtas ang kanilang kamay, mapapahamak tayong lalo sa kanilang mga kamay. Kanino natin pwedeng ipagkatiwala ang ating bansa? Sa mga katulad ng Santo Niño, mapagpakumbaba at marunong sumunod sa kalooban ng Diyos. But let us not just point to our leaders, because in many ways, in our own hands, worlds have also been entrusted by God. Sa inyo pong mga kamay, marami ring ipinagkatiwala ang Diyos. Mga magulang, sa inyong kamay, ipinagkatiwala ang buhay ng inyong mga anak. Sa mga mag-asawa, ipinagkatiwala ng Diyos ang buhay ng isa't isa. Sa amin bilang namumuno sa simbahan, ipinagkatiwala ang sambayanan. Ipinagkatiwala sa ating kamay ang ating mga responsibilidad, ang ating mga gawain, trabaho sa buhay. In our own hands, worlds have also been entrusted. Kamusta po sila sa kamay natin? Are they safe or are they in danger? Are these worlds growing, prospering, or are they dying and withering? Mga minamahal na kapatid, sa kapistahan pong ito ng Santo Niño, sambahin natin si Jesus na isang bata dahil sa kanyang mga kamay ipinagkatiwala ang ating buhay. Nasa kanyang kamay ang ating mundo. Huwag po ninyong ipagkakatiwala ang inyong mundo kung kani-kanino lang. It is only in the hand of God who became a child, the Santo Niño, that we will be at peace, that we will be safe, and we will be secure. But as we look at Him and adore Him, let us also pray that we may be like Him. We may be humble, not proud. We may be simple, not complicated. We may be obedient to the will of God, not hard-headed, so that the worlds in our hands may also be safe, secure, and at peace.